Hi, welcome to the channel. Make sure to like subscribe to the channel for more stories like these. Now let's get started. I was betrayed. In today's video, I'll tell the story of how I was betrayed and found out on my birthday. My conversations with this girl on college were evolving into something serious, so we decided to be exclusive during the winter. Everything was going well until after Christmas, when she started to withdraw and become reserved. It was at this point that I should have realized that something bad was about to happen. I texted her to find out what was going on, and she replied that she liked me a lot, but she was super overworked and busy. She wasn't sure if we could have one serious relationship. I was fine with it, as I wasn't in a hurry, and we agreed to give it a chance until the summer, when classes started the first 2 nights. She slept in an apartment I recognized as belonging to friends, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly who they were, as I thought they were her friends. I finally managed to find her on the 3rd night, and everything went back to normal. It was fun and I felt confident in her again. The next night, which was my birthday, she asked me out to the bars, but she spent all night talking to another guy. I started to get worried, so I introduced myself to him and found out it was one of her friends, about who she had mentioned earlier, so I wouldn't worry. He was honest with me and said, "That's her boyfriend, closest friend." When they parted at the end of the night, he was honest with me and said that she was his girlfriend and would go home with him. They had been dating for a week when this happened, i.e. she was clearly very busy and overworked to be in a serious relationship with me. But still she moved on and began to see the person she had warned me about earlier not to worry about. Also, my friends were present and I looked like an idiot. However, she informed me directly. Instead, she was the closest friend who explained to me everything after I came home and blocked her to communicate. It was the worst birthday ever, and my confidence is at an all-time low. The sound of her best friend saying something to me keeps resurfacing in my mind, making me feel stupid and embarrassed. Story 2. Cheating wife, recent updates. Update 2. As soon as she told me she was reducing social contact with someone else, I immediately went home and hid a voice recorder in my wife and this other man. They spent more than an hour talking over the phone on at least 2 occasions, according to the audio I heard. On the last night, my recorder failed in the middle of the day, so I'm guessing they talked again at night, if not later. Despite the fact that the phone didn't offer many details, she revealed some damaging facts about the case. They argued for a while about the current status of our marriage, which she said he was unaware of. They also talked about how to use a hidden phone app on your devices to avoid being discovered. She referred to me like an idiot because I was late for the breakfast on that particular day. Furthermore, they discussed a multitude of other topics and looked down on them as they began to fall in love. I didn't hear my wife express so much enthusiasm for anything in response to my questions. She admitted parts of information while she rejected others, and now I'm not sure how much I care. Update 3. The last 2 weeks have passed without any communication with my wife. She contacted me a few days ago, and she asked if we could talk. I informed her that I would not discuss nothing until she was ready to share everything with me. That's when she said she knew I had bugged her phone, which I didn't. but she considered that possibility and stated that she already knew all about me. I told her I needed to hear this directly from her, and she finally agreed to sit with me and tell me everything you had to say about her life. She came to my house and she said she was having a relationship with the other person 6 months ago. She said she had booked a hotel room the day before our anniversary to spend the day with him. This happened the day before of the event, and she also mentioned that she continued to communicate with him afterwards at getting caught, and that he was supporting her and answering my questions. She stated that he finished his relationship with the other man and now it's focusing only on our relationship. Finally, she admitted her guilt 6 painful weeks after I saw her at the hotel. I believe that the only reason she confessed was because of my persistence, but then she mentioned that she always wanted to tell me. However, before proceeding further, I would like to assure you that it would not cause any harm to any of us. Those 6 weeks left a trail of irreparable destruction. As a private investigator, I discovered that my wife had an affair with a colleague. I found them together in a hotel, but she denied any wrongdoing. If you are facing a similar situation and feel vaguely suicidal, I would strongly advise against it. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the best moments of your life because of this. This is my strong conviction. I know it's hard to see when you're starting out on this path, but trust me when I say you shouldn't miss this life now. As for the upgrade, I thought carefully for a long time before making this decision. I would rather not have wasted that time, but who cares? She wanted to be together for some reason I don't understand. She lied and deceived me for a long time, ruining any chance of reconciliation. It was the hardest thing I've ever faced. I gave myself completely to my marriage. It wasn't perfect, but I loved my wife and wanted to be with her forever. I would do anything to make her happy, and I believe I have done it countless times. Now that I am no longer in that relationship, I can recognize how one-sided it was. My marriage was to a narcissistic person who sucked all the energy out of a good person. My divorce was extremely difficult to deal with. Despite the perception that I was making a lot of money, the reality was that I was making less than half of what I deserved, as I wanted the divorce to be finalized as quickly as possible without affecting my business and retirement plans. Navigating this divorce was extremely difficult. Unfortunately, cheating on someone and then worrying about how much money they're taking is not uncommon, even if it's less than half of what they are entitled to. This experience led me to understand the importance of making the right decision and escaping this chaos as soon as possible. As a result of the divorce, I lost a lot of friends, but I don't care about those who didn't agree with me, as they made it easier for me to get rid of them. Saying goodbye to my in-laws was definitely one of the hardest parts of the process. Some of them were good, but now I understand why you didn't like them. I've written enough letters to my ex-wife. I'm sure she's aware of what's going on, but she's never responded to my emails, and I'll accept her decision. For those who are experiencing this type of terror, my advice is that the only way to think straight through this situation is to walk away from it. Otherwise you will be manipulated. Seek guidance from a professional. I spent a lot of time in counseling and it was very helpful. As a result, I gained a lot of strength. It's important to surround yourself with friends and family whenever possible. Take care of yourself by making healthy choices, going to the gym, limiting drug and alcohol use, breathing in fresh air, and making an effort to sleep. Take advice from others, but ultimately make your own decisions. It's your life. Although there were some really difficult days after the decisive day, aside from the initial sadness, it was the happiest time of my life. Every day I am very happy. If you are going through something similar and need advice from a self-proclaimed expert, please contact me. I'll be happy to help. Thanks to everyone who supported me during my ordeal. I sincerely thank you all. Hugs.